Hi, Chase with MySwing Golf, joined here by Monte Scheinblum. Check him out at montescheinblum.com. As you can see, I'm suited up with the MySwing professional system. Monty's about to give me a lesson. Any words of encouragement?
No, just hit it better so I don't have to say much.
Perfect. Let's get started. Hi, time to calibrate. So with calibration, we want to make sure that feet are aligned towards the target, about 6 inches apart. You got anything else for him?
No, just make sure it's in the same direction where the balls are going.
Perfect. Okay, first pose is T-pose. What are we looking for in T-pose?
Making sure the arms are out straight.
Perfect.
Pretty simple.
Okay, second pose is A pose. Want to make sure the thumbs are down the seams of the pants. Wait for the 3 beeps before you move, keeping your feet still the whole time throughout the process.
Yeah, for sure. That's the one mistake that, when you're calibrating, they hear the first like 2 beeps and they're like, okay, and they start going, the feet have moved and they didn't
shuffling,
get, they got to stay in place.
Okay, third pose is S pose. Okay, calibration complete.
And then always make sure at the end you got to do like a little foot pick up there.
So you notice the feet looked a little bit funny. We lift the feet up, do a little shuffle, and now they look accurate, right?
All good.
Cool. Calibration complete. Let's go capture a swing. Hi guys, so we just finished calibration. As you can see, all my sensors are connected green. So now it's time to capture a swing. You got any pre-tips for me?
Well, the one thing that you have to make sure of is, especially for all you wagglers, the guys that, Jason Duffner, doing that.
Sure.
The shaft has to stay still for a second after the beeps happen before you can pull the trigger.
So we'll hear 3 beeps. It needs to stay still from about the 3rd beep until we take it back, right?
Correct.
Cool. About 1 second?
About 1 second.
Awesome. Okay, you see the logo spinning. We've got a successful capture. We're going to hit the save button. And then I caught that just a little bit thin, so we'll title it thin and OK. So there's a successful capture. Now let's take a look at it. All right, guys, so we just captured a swing. Let's go ahead and review it. So we go into the review tab in the software. We're going to open, and we're going to pick the last one. Now, Monty, before we get started, be gentle, please.
No, what's great about this is, we can isolate one part of the golf swing that we think is giving you a problem, and have a look at it and see what it's doing.
Perfect. So we're gonna play back in about half the speed. Let's see how the capture looks. That's my golf swing. What do you want to look at? What do you see first? What pops out the most?
We had talked about this in the past. One of your big issues is how the left arm reacts to your chest, called
lead arm abduction.
Lead arm abduction, absolutely.
So lead arm abduction, real quick. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, absolutely. We're going to put it up there on the screen, and we're going to see an angle. Basically, it's the angle between the left arm and the chest.
Yep. This is 90.
Pretty simple.
90 degrees, 0. This is 180.
Yeah, he's wanted to smack me.
Before I hit you. Right. Okay, so settings. We'll pull up the lead arm abduction angle. So at address, you can see 61 degrees.
Okay.
About normal.
So obviously, as you're taking it back, the left arm gets closer to the chest. So we're going to get up to the top here, and we notice that's about right. Okay. So the angle now is 35 degrees. And
real quick, so before I got to the very top, what was the max angle at? Did we see, at this point, I'm already starting to get closer to the chest. So
it was 36.
Okay,
it was,
36.
I mean, 1 degree, we're not going to split hairs. And Phil Cheatham, who's one of the leading experts in this 3D technology, has thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of swings. He said that the left arm loads more on the downswing. And he says that, after seeing all these swings, great players, bad players, 4 to 6 degrees decrease. So we go here, it's going to decrease 4 to 6 degrees.
Yep.
And
Dr. Phil Cheatham, inventor of the AMM system, the 3D guy, check him out on his website or on Facebook.
Yeah, really smart guy. I see people who will load it 12, 13 degrees and they're coming into the ball
Sure.
like this. That's not optimum. And you know you've had that issue in the past where you loaded it too much. So let's take a look on how much it's loading here. So we went from 35, 36.
So right now I'm about at optimal.
Right.
I'm okay, right? I'm okay in this range.
You've only gone down 5 or 6 degrees. Okay, 7. Okay. We're not going to split hairs over 1 degree, but here's the problem. It's not that you're loading it too much. You're starting to increase the angle way too late.
So I've loaded for the period in which I load takes too long.
Takes too long. So essentially, instead of it going like that, it's going like.
So I get to a point where I have to start straightening my arms or I won't ever get back to the golf ball. Right?
Absolutely.
And so the longer I wait, the more the handle's going to come up a little higher, maybe increase
or what you tend to do is,
or I'm going to add flexion. I'm gonna stay down too long.
You're going to stay down too long, and you know we've captured a couple of swings here actually, and both of them you hit it thin. Okay. So you know you're to simplify it, you're not getting to the golf ball.
Okay, makes sense. So how do we fix it?
You know, there are so many different ways. You know, we've talked about this in the past. You know, you can feel like a left-handed tennis player going cross court. You know, you're throwing a frisbee in that direction. You know, using the tennis analogy, how good of a shot are you going to hit if you go like that?
Right, no power at all.
You're not even going to get the ball to the net.
Sure.
Okay, that hasn't made a lot of sense to you in the past. So, you know, we talked about one other deal. There's a million different, well, not a million, there's several different ways you can look at any movement in the golf swing. So if we're talking about the left-handed tennis motion, if we also look at maybe separating your left shoulder from your chin, that's going to have the same result. And, you know, after having a little bit of discussion, we've noticed that made a little more sense to you.
So for the guys watching at home, what I've always tended to do is my left shoulder works kind of high and I tilt this way,
right.
Correct?
Absolutely.
So what you're saying is if I can get my left shoulder to work down, almost like it's working down and forward for a split second, it's going to keep my hips from spinning out too fast. It's going to keep me from going this way too long.
Yeah.
Correct?
I would agree with that.
So more that feeling.
Correct.
All right?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's try it out and see if the capture, see what our MySwing system says. All right, guys, so now we're going to try and I'm going to work on the changes that Monte prescribed in the earlier video. Monte, would you say that this prescription for me, this left arm or left shoulder, left arm movement for me will work for everybody? No.
I mean, you have to have many, many different ways of creating the same result. You know, Chase, you're 6'7", your wingspan's short, so your arms are a little shorter than normal. You know, whereas you see a guy like Hogan, he was 5'6", he had a really long 6-foot wingspan. His body's going to work a little bit differently than yours. So, you know, we talked about, you know, the tennis move, the frisbee move. You're moving your left shoulder off. You know, getting the right elbow forward sooner, keeping the tailbone pointed at the target longer. I could go on and on and on. It's for this issue where the left arm either adducts too much, gets too close to the chest, or starts releasing off too late. You got to find the right one that makes sense to you, and this happens to be the one that speaks to you.
So with the MySwing system, are you able to pinpoint other people's issues?
Oh, yeah.
Is this something, do you always look at lead arm adduction, or will you pick other things?
No, I mean, you know, seeing a lead arm adduction problem, it's apparent pretty quickly, okay? But what's so great about the MySwing, it doesn't matter what your fundamental issue. You know, every golf swing has one issue that leads to everything else. Domino effect down the line. So you don't fix all 17 things. You find the offending issue, and then a lot of the things that happen afterwards fall in line. So for you keep this here too long, okay? It makes you tilt too much, makes you go down toward the ball too much because you can't reach it because you're all the way up here. You know,
that was awesome. Show them face on that move.
So, you know, when Chase's left arm stays here too long, you know, he starts to tilt too much this way and then has to go down toward the ball that way. And if he doesn't do that enough, he hits it thin, which is what you did.
Or wipe it right, or other issues, right?
Yeah. So, but for each individual instructor that has student X in front of him, there's going to be one large offending issue, and you just look at the screen, you pop on the body part and see what's wrong with it. The thing that I found this is the best for is measuring improvement.
Okay.
So if you try this left shoulder off your chin thing, and we see the angle between the left arm and the chest start to increase earlier, we know it works.
Great point. And not to get too far off topic here, but what about your homegrown golf swings like Jim Furyk or some of that stuff? How will this system help better than 2D video?
Oh, people would ask me in the past. They say, Monte, you say you have no set way of teaching people, but you have some parameters that you like to see. Jim Furyk is the name that's brought up. What would you do with Furyk? And the answer in the past was, I would take a video of him when he was, right after he won a golf tournament, Monday morning, I'd be there, or Sunday afternoon, I'd be there with a video camera saying, this is what it looks like when you're
at your best.
Exactly.
Right.
Then he just misses 3 cuts in a row. I take another video and I say, look, you're here, let's make that change. This makes that.
So basically with this system, you're not guessing, where with 2D, sometimes it's hard, if the camera angle's a little bit off, it can get kind of muddy, right?
I mean, even if the camera's a foot closer, then, but that would have been what I was stuck with in the past. But now, hypothetically, we'd see that, when Jim was winning golf tournaments, when his left arm was parallel to the ground, his hips were 30 degrees open.
Right.
And then we might find when he had, after missing a couple of cuts, when his left arm's parallel to the ground, his hips are only 18 degrees open.
Sure.
Well, he knows he's got to get his hips more open.
Makes sense.
Okay,
awesome. Well, let's try and make this this little left shoulder move. See if we get a result out of it.
Sounds good.
So we'll center the avatar in the software. Okay. You'll hear 3 beeps. I'll try this move. See if we can get this a little bit better. It was very solid. It wasn't thin like the one before.
No, I think that was definitely better.
Cool. So we got a capture. We'll hit save. Let's put left arm drill.
Left shoulder drill.
Left shoulder drill. Yeah, probably better. Left shoulder drill. And we'll save that, and then we'll take a look at it.